Hello, it's Nikki, and welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad so many of you are loving the interviews, and thank you so much for sharing, rating, and reviewing. I so appreciate it. Anyway, I wanted to continue the conversation of success. So often we hear the extremes, don't we, of rags to riches, homeless to billionaire, sleeping on a random sofa to a blinged up palace. But what about the in-between bits? I know personally I have had many. How do you get from A to Z? But also, how do you get from A to B or F to M? In these mini episodes, I want to provide questions to ponder, ideas that might spark a brainstorm, or raise topics that might be a little bit uncomfortable in the moment, but they will support you to go to the next level of your business. As always, please come over to social media at Nikki Raby, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and breakthroughs. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode. I have a story for you today, and some of the information I'm about to share does feel quite exposing. Some of it I've never said out loud before, well, like not on the internet, not in writing that people can copy and paste and misconstrue, and but I'm reading a great book at the moment by Tara Moore called Playing Big, and there is something about 2019 for me. It's a shift, it's moving into different areas. I don't really want to be generic in my life. I don't just want to follow a framework that everybody else has done and create the same sales pages and wear the same outfits that everybody else does. And I really want to step in further into this blend that I have. And you have as well. You have your own blend of skills and talents and expertise. And you can totally do whatever it is that you want to do. And you're like, yeah, whatever, Nikki. Like, things are not going as well as I want. Or, it can be very tempting to just brush that off as like, well, this isn't working. Or this isn't working. Or I wish this would happen quicker. So, this is where it's come from. I am launching something which feels very timely for me. It's a new course. You can read all the details anyway. This is not just kind of buy my course type situation. I want to just tell you where it's sort of come from. And I really want to, it's called Working Smartly. And the reason that I've created this is because for so long, online, in person, I've seen so many other people who, like me, are maybe of a grown-up age, but they're still not quite getting what they want from their business or their life. As in, they're working really hard, or they're still getting to the end of the week and thinking, oh, I didn't really earn much money there. Or, yeah, we would love to do that as a family, but we haven't found a way to make it possible. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I wish that I did. But I thought I'd tell you a story today. And again, this is not to brag or show off or to assume that I have this all figured out. My goodness me, I am very much a work in progress. And there's been something about the last few months for me where I've been hugely creative. I've been working behind the scenes on this course. I know that it's the next phase of what I want to bring. But as I am, and I still am, I'm pregnant and I've been up a lot in the night and my head has been just spinning. And this happened in my last pregnancy, actually. I felt like, and it's happened at various points of my life too, where I felt this next shift coming. I felt this next chapter. And it's almost like my brain has to spit up all of the limiting beliefs and all of the things that I thought I'd forgotten about, but I clearly have been storing them in there. So it's almost like, on one hand, I've been going to the next level and I felt so creative and in flow and like I'm doing the right thing. And then on the other hand, it's just been like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that thing that boy said to me at school still affects me and still puts a limitation on what I think about my life. interesting, juicy stuff, hey. Anyway, here's the story. Hopefully you will gain something from it, or it will give you some food for thought. This is what I wrote. I imagine life is pretty hectic. You pack a lot into a day. There's schedules, to-do lists, places to be, and emails to answer. Simply keeping life ticking over and keeping everyone happy requires a lot of energy. Throw in generating income, remaining professional and consistent, and working on your dream life, there is little wiggle room. In 2014, I made a decision to go all in. And this decision changed everything. Life was okay, but I was plodding along. I liked what I did. I was good at it. I was getting results. However, I knew deep inside me that I had to make a change. I wasn't earning the money I knew I was capable of. I was watching every penny, often not being able to afford a lot of the things I knew I wanted to do and have and be, and I was working on an hourly rate, so I earned what I worked. In a nutshell, if I'm honest, I was pretty miserable. I'd lost all of my confidence. I felt behind all my friends. I was just going through the motions of life. And I'd always been determined and focused and raring to go, but my self-doubt kept overshadowing my drive. I knew it was down to me to change it. I was getting so bored of my own victim story, as I'm sure my friends and family were too. I had to start small, and with a piece of paper and a pen. So this is what I did. I made a list of changes I wanted to make, even though it felt scary and I had no idea how to make any of it happen. 1. I wanted to show up for my dreams again. 2. I wanted to start a family. 3. I wanted to create a career path from my skills. Actor, coach, writer, speaker, podcaster. And at the time of writing, I was only an actor and a coach. The writer, speaker, podcaster came later, and this podcast, my friends, was just a little dream in my head. 4. I wanted to create my own schedule. 5. I wanted to have multiple income streams. 6. I wanted to create space for creative projects, not just the daily to-do list. 7. I wanted to just make the above all come true. Even doing this exercise started to shift things. It felt really lovely to move all the spinning thoughts from my head onto the piece of paper in front of me. However, as soon as I did, fear set in. It now felt real. I knew I had to do something about it. I couldn't ignore it any longer. I could continue to whinge, but I knew that wasn't going to help matters. It turns out I didn't need to worry so much. I broke the big old pieces down, and very quickly things began to change. The next month, my previous day rate became my minimum hourly rate. And this has changed again. I can now earn what I used to earn in a week in an hour. A month later, I became pregnant and spent most of the next few months vomiting and snuffling kettle chips. However, my new way of working allowed me to change my schedule accordingly. As I reflect on that time, I feel so proud of myself. However, what I notice is that it didn't take extraordinary action. I didn't have to go and be blessed in Bali and find myself. Although if that works for you, do it. Or change my diet drastically and eat only round things. Or run a marathon. In fact, the first thing I did, and the best thing that I did, was simply decide. I didn't wait until the 1st of January or until I knew all the answers. I simply made the decision to figure it out. My mentor Marie Forleo shares this wonderful phrase: everything is figure-outable. And it's one I come back to daily. I now have a 3-year-old and another baby on the way, and I'm expanding again, not just physically, but I really feel like I'm entering into a new chapter of my business. I'm committed to finding ways to thrive throughout the next few years and not just survive. In fact, I refuse to simply survive. And no, I haven't been one of those lucky people whose baby just sleeps for hours on end. Far from it. Over the last 4 years, I've seen phenomenal changes in my business and life. However, none of this has been an accident. I've made some bold moves. I became very strategic. I put myself out there. I received lots of thanks, but no thanks. I made some big old mistakes. I experimented. The thing is, I know you have big dreams too. I know this. And I know you want to create a life full of all the elements that feel like you, that suit your personality and your circumstances. I have a love-hate relationship with the self-development world. I love the options and the inspiration it provides. The digital world and the introduction of the internet has transformed the way many of us can run our businesses and lives. However, too often I see dream lives looking similar. Exotic travel, first-class flights, big designer shopping bags, and yes, I like all of those things too. But when I build my big picture vision, I know there are other elements I want to incorporate, many of which are not that glitzy. For example, family time that is quality and not interrupted by phones. Flexibility to create my own schedule. To be able to work remotely so I can care for those that need me. I've coached over 1,000 clients and there's never a one-size-fits-all. They're all looking to create a unique life. Some have small children or big children. Some have parents that are undergoing health issues that require support. Some want to live in a variety of different locations throughout the world. Some want to earn brilliantly but still remain an introvert on their sofa. And some want to create many income streams, many of which are passive. As I approach 40, I feel like I'm just getting started. I'm saving for our dream home. I have 15 plus revenue streams. I've invested in coaches and mentors who have shown me so much is possible. And I'm doing so many of the things that were on my 2014 goal list. And you know what? I'm the most excited I've ever been about my life. And obviously, still feel about 17 and a half in my head. And there's been lots of highlights. Huge, wonderful moments like speaking at Stylist Live or various stages across London. Having a top 100 business podcast. Creating my own family. Coaching over 1,000 clients. Writing a book and being featured in others. And having my most successful acting year in 25 years when I had the least amount of sleep. But, on the flip side, I have made lots of choices that have slowed me down. I did too much free work. I tried to be all the things to all the people. I wasted a lot of time because I didn't know where to focus. I didn't find the right technology to support me. I was too cheap and was working way too hard. I had big, ugly moments of burnout, self-doubt, and a lot of overwhelm. I found a way to make peace with these mistakes and reframe them as lessons through the ugly cries. And these days, I do believe I had to go through all of these stages, as I know firsthand what those sensations and tricky times look and feel like. And if you're experiencing any of those, I understand, and I can assure you that there will be a way to move forward. So who are my clients? What happens? What do they say all the time? They want to create a life they love. They want a sustainable, profitable business. They want to work flexibly. They want to choose their own hours. They want less stress and more results. They want to make a positive impact. They want to maximize their time, skills, energy, and value. But often, burnout is never far away. Their to-do list is never, ever ending. Overwhelm frequently pops up to say hello. Their income is at a plateau because their diary is full and they don't know how to scale. And lots of areas are working, but they want more. This is truly your time to shake things up and step up to the next level, my friend. Because there's no need for you to feel stuck, broke, overwhelmed, and overstretched. It all starts by knowing what you want. That's the end of my story. There are some other little bits, but it would feel weird to read them. So if you want to go and have a little look or go back on anything, you can go to nikkiraby.com/working smartly. And I'm beginning this mission on the 4th of March. So if you would love to join us, I would love to have you and support you in figuring out and navigating this next chapter. And if there's anything in you that you go, no, this is probably it for me, this is the way that it has to be, it really, really doesn't. But it will take some work, whether that's mindset or strategy or working on your vision, but it's all completely possible for you. So, if you feel like somebody may need to hear that story, please share it, rate, review, subscribe. Let's expand this podcast as far and wide as we can. And as always, I love to hear your thoughts. Please tag me on Instagram. Let me know your aha moments and just share some love on it because it feels very exposing to share so much. Have a lovely day. I will see you very soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening as always. If you do want to rate and review and subscribe over on iTunes or even share it with a friend, I would love it. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to find out more about me and how we can work together, please go to nikkiraby.com or connect with me across social media at Nikki Raby. I'll see you soon. Bye.